beyond generative AI and LLMs and everything that comes with it, what are some technologies that you see sort of on the rise over the next year?
Almost any way I look at it goes back to AI, but I think the combination of AI and robotics, the combination of AI meaning traditional industries. One phenomena is that if you go maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago, we made some investments into industrial, agtech, in other areas that are healthcare, that and these companies were not able to really create a big difference. It was hard to develop real value to these areas. Missing part was AI. Okay, and what we're seeing now, the resurgence of some of these areas, and we're back to after we said, okay, we're not going to invest in there. They're just not adopting stuff. No, they were just not using stuff that was not valuable to them. Now we're beginning to see some of those actually picking up, even with the same companies that we invested back then are having some great moments right now.
AI replacing manual labor was an obvious topic in terms of pallet movers and robotic kind of warehouse automation, etc. I was talking to a CIO of a pharmaceutical company and said, well, we used to have a supply chain problem of moving drugs around. Now my supply chain problem revolves around moving robots around. And they have surgical robots of every caliber. And these are skilled practitioners who are still operating these. This isn't about manual labor replacement. This is about getting the skilled practitioners to be like 5, 10x more productive, right? So it's really the packaging is a device or a hardware. So renaissance of new hardware companies that are packaging the AI in a very discrete manner that still need to be operated by the expert, not just in a browser, right?
Given the recent boom, we think of AI as being ChatGPT and everything like it. But I think that it sounds like the takeaway is that there's sort of a renaissance around AI, the more traditional approaches to AI.
So some areas AI still doesn't know how to solve. It might be in the future. We have one company that does financial analysis. So far, AI, the traditional AI, has not been able to create the jump. It may be in the next year or two. So sometimes you have to combine AI for insights with the ability to have structured data and use old school machine learning capabilities. So it's a mixture. You have to be careful of using the latest hype. You have to make sure that you focus on the value that your customer gets.
Yeah. We do a lot of investments in technology companies that sell to CTOs and developers and innovators because a large part of what you want to solve for is how do I help accelerate my customers' path to market or path to profitability or give a competitive edge to their competitors. And so then you're looking at what's the next sort of the thing that'll help me create a better end user experience. So if you look at the generation 1 internet companies, Akamai became a great company because it fundamentally accelerated delivery of your content to your end users in a very noticeable way. With Akamai, it's like the pages loaded fast. Without it, it was very slow, right? And in generation 2, you had this kind of a Node.js or this Web 2 phenomena where all these desktop applications were now webified, and Gmail and all these products that made it, hey, I can actually use a web-based application and I don't really want clunky Windows apps or whatever and maintain desktops and all that. So that shift into the web. So now we're seeing some capability where like, I want to do much more than that now in the edge or at the browser or at the endpoint. So we're seeing some movement around, okay, now how do I even make that even richer? How do I make sure my booking application, my travel application is, much, I don't have to sit there and wait for that. Oh, I just like a Ticketmaster experience, like getting my Taylor Swift ticket or whatnot, doesn't have to become this, sort of still a pretty challenging, cumbersome exercise because we're very spoiled by speed. Like we love, whenever the interaction latency comes down, like you just get much more users to just obsess about that experience. So there's some opportunities there in terms of what is the next kind of edge-enabled application delivery experience. So that's where we spend some time.
We're seeing some interesting stuff around creating entertainment content using AI. So traditionally that's been done by humans, entirely by humans. Now can they use tools, AI tools, to create that content much faster, create more content? That's some interesting stuff you're seeing. And of course, our part of the world has different cultures, different languages, and you cannot just take an animated content created in the US and translate it and make it relevant in India or in Vietnam or something. So using AI to create entertainment content is something we're seeing as an interesting new trend that's coming up.